I'm back. Rhodes rants on Shaft. That's right. Did anybody know there was a Shaft movie that came out this last weekend? It only made $8.3 million and was in 6th place at the box office. However, I just found an interesting article that just dropped, and I believe there might have been an agenda against this movie. It seems it may be a throwback to the old action movies that a lot of us liked from the 80s and the 90s. And I think audiences are speaking volumes about this movie, even though I believe critics tried to tank this thing. This is from darkhorizons.com. The Shaft franchise returns with its third incarnation in this weekend's Shaft, which sees Richard Roundtree, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jesse T. Usher all taking on members of the Shaft family in an action comedy. Critics last week slammed the film, the movie taking in just 35% on Rotten Tomatoes and getting knocked heavily for its homophobia, sexism, racism, and poor scripting. Audiences, however, seem to be liking it, at least those who saw it. The film's Rotten Tomatoes audience score is clocking in at 93%, while the cinema exit polling at CinemaScore is an A. And, of course, it goes on about the box office. And, by the way, this movie is not getting an international box office release. It's going internationally on Netflix on June 28th. Now, I will tell you, Shaft 2000 was a hit. The one with Sam Jackson and Christian Bale was actually the bad guy. It made like over $100 million at the box office. But I think it's interesting, the divide between audiences and critics these days. The audiences, and it's got like over 1,100 people have put in a score at Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got a 93%. And it's got a terrible 35% out of 78 critic scores. And why did more critics not see this? I will tell you that speaks volumes about the fact that people are not worried about political correctness when it comes to going and enjoying a movie. Okay? But I think in passing what happens is when people see a Rotten Tomatoes score, they're like, oh, that's a 35%. That movie's got to be terrible. And they just keep going. Your average moviegoer. Whereas if they truly showed the audience score, 93%, who knows how well this movie would have really have, performed at the box office. And it just tells you the media, the critics, if it does not have a politically correct agenda in the movie, they are going to tank it. They've got some sort of a social checklist that they're using for film, and if it doesn't meet that checklist, the critics have decided they're going to help try to destroy a movie. That's all there is to it. There's no other. They're going to either try to elevate a movie or destroy it, one of the two. There's no other way of looking at it. 35% versus 93% from the audience? Come on now. It's obvious agendas. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.